Hi, everybody. I just wanted everyone in the Tai Chi Connection to know how grateful I am for them commenting and giving me support and looking at the posts that I make. Um, but more importantly, that some of the information that you guys lend me or teach me or talk to me about or present in the page have become so important to me because even though I've learned a lot, have a lot more to learn, and have a plethora of access to information to improve my system and to improve myself as a human being, I still realize that though I must go into seclusion to perfect the refining and cultivating of my system, I still require interaction from individuals who, quite frankly, know a whole lot more about how to make things work than I will ever know. Of course, I will stay with the fact and idea that the Western pugilistic alchemist or internal boxer or Negia Gong adept is one of the most important and for me the most focused upon uh, emphasis that I have in my study of interaction with other people. Though I treasure greatly the transition or of transmission of information from the east to the west, I also value the information that the west already has, and I love to integrate it. In fact, I must integrate it into everything that I know. I am finding out more and more that I really, really needed to round out the squareness of my Tai Chi boxing. In order for me to really become what Shang San Fin talks about in his Tai Chi Chang Chuan or Tai Chi Ching Chuan, uh, I need to become a great extremes long boxer. And because I need to become a great extremes long boxer, I need to make sure that I move with continuity, that I use the Ilyuwe's five character secret in a way that I am now mature enough to understand, and of course in later years will understand better. That is, I must have a calm mind. I must continuously breathe. I must ensure that I have a unified agility. That means hand and foot move together. I must ensure that my intrinsic strength, which normally comes from uh, exercising in a normal way, in a gym or so forth, now I can do it by gathering information from the mountain. From the mountain, from the lake, um, from the air that is at this high, from the elements that come down, from running, from lifting odd objects, and of course from trying to make sure that all these things play a great part in my ability to stay still. I'm finding that stillness has very little to do with the lack of or the beginning of motion. It has more to do with where I place my attention. If I want great power of motion, I focus on my lower jaw. If I want great power of intent of stillness, okay, I focus on my crown, okay, my Baomu at the top of my head. If I want to make sure that I am the center of all these things, then I ensure that my intent comes from the heart or my middle jaw, that things come from my intent. And in this way, I walk a fine line because intent is the center of yin and yang, the center of extremes. Intent and volition, intent being the ability to make something happen, volition being the ability to turn it on or turn it off. These things I have to struggle to find. I have to continuously go. I'll never find them in strength. I'm only going to find them when I'm weak. And to be weak, that means I have to do what I talked about in my first book. I have to literally kick my own butt. I mean, if you're not looking for, getting up from, um, giving or taking an ass whooping, you're really not doing much when it comes down to the training of combative Tai Chi boxing. Now, not everyone, I appreciate not everyone, needs to or should learn in this manner. But with the personality that I have and the experiences that I've gone through, I'm just a knucklehead. And as a knucklehead, I just have to beat myself up in order for me to learn. Not everybody needs that. There are people more intelligent. But in the movements that you see me do, or that I'm trying to perfect in this training that I'm doing in the Tennessee mountains, I wanted to relate to you guys that if you ever get the chance to actually go up in the mountains, if you're at that stage of training, please do so. There's an energy up here that I can't describe. There are people up here that are in their 70s and 80s, and they look better than I do. I mean, they're walking around, they're walking up and down mountains, they're running up and down mountains. Uh, I felt this energy here, and as I've spoken about in some of the posts, it's it's feral, it's emotional, it's powerful. I'm glad I came up here with the notion of trying to master my stilling and moving meditation, because in the truth of the matter is, in my middle age, I'm feeling incredible vigor. But in order to sustain it, in order to put it where it needs to go, in order for it to raise my consciousness, I must again stay in the center of extremes. I have to stay in the center of modal behavior in order to achieve a modal reality. What does that mean? It means I have to stay in the center of my thinking, of my actions, and of my emotions. And in order for me to stay in that center, to really, really exist there, I got to be in the now. In order to be in the now, I can't focus on everything around me. I have to focus on what I am and what I'm doing, which is literally nothing more than knowing self, knowing self, being true to self, and making sure that the knowledge that I gain from those actions and efforts are used to treat others in appropriate manners. In keeping with the idea of treating others as I wish to be treated, I think I have to do an awful lot of thanking of certain individuals that really I've come to realize have helped me a lot, that have come from the Tai Chi Connection room. First and foremost, Master Lester. Okay, Sifu Lester Holmes, Alan Stent, great guy. He's a pugilist. I love the way he talks. Matter of fact, I love everybody. There's just people that I interact with a lot, and that I read a lot and I learn from. That probably could learn more if I was a smarter person, but I'm not. So there's only certain people I can resonate with at this level of my training, and maybe when I get to be a better person and a better adept at martial arts, I'll be able to feel everybody and understand what everyone's saying, and really and enjoy it and benefit from it. Alan Stent, okay, Stent, I love the way you talk, I love the way you think. You're very practical, down to earth. Honey Chi, love the support that you give. Nancy, I love the way you describe things, the way you talk about the enemy. I've seen where you work, and of course you're from Long Island, where I'm from. So I know you're getting good training out there, and you're taking it and you're giving it to us from a different perspective than most men would understand, and most people may understand. Marilyn Cooper, thank you so much for the information that you give, and Lynn, the time you spend out giving people information. John Allen, new friend, you bring tears to my eyes too, brother, when you speak. Thank you so much. Modesto Castellano, thank you so much for what you're doing. Simon Wojcik, thanks a lot. Seafood Miller and Seafood Cox, thank you for the tidbits of information that you share with us. It goes a long way, brothers. When you give that information out, you make your comments, it makes us think, it makes us reflect, and we appreciate it. Master Muhammad, of course, everything you put out is very inspiring to me. It makes me think about what I'm doing. It lets me know where I'm at, what I need to do, and where I need to go with it. And I appreciate what you do for the community. Alonzo Young, thanks for loving my Minotaur Rigpa. As a matter of fact, Seafood Clear, I'm going to see hopefully really soon. Thanks for loving my equipment and what I put together and how it works, and thanks for wanting me to motivate me to actually get it out there for a sale, if not by the product, at least by the instructions to putting it together. There's more people out there, of course. Oh, thank you, all the individuals who are trying to put together the information for the magazine, Temple Underground Magazine. That being said, if I missed anybody in my thanks, please forgive me. It's not because I don't appreciate what you do. It's just because I don't remember what you were remember your names. I should sit back here and try and think right now about it. But thank you so much for all the individuals that are actually going to go out and try and publish or submit articles for the magazine. I'm the director of the magazine, and of course, Lester has been asking for individuals to give stuff out. I can go on now. I remember some stuff. I got a page sheet from me. Josh Call, Master Jerry Cook, who's my mentor for the Black Dragon Society. Stephen Williams, he's the individual that's teaching me acupuncture on the slide, making sure I know what I'm doing. Dr. George Love, hey, what's nothing more to say? Enough said. The man's a master at what he does. Newly brought in Dr. Janke. Thank you so much for what you're doing for us, giving us more legitimacy and possibly a little more information, presenting us with a nice light to the greater community of Qigong practitioners. Let's see, Sifu Kevin Zarling, thank you so much. Jeff Wilson, hey, fellow retired Cav Scout guy from U.S. Army. Hopefully get with him pretty soon. And there's a ton of other people I'm just not going to get a chance to get to. I just want you to know Muhammad Ayed, Stephen McLaughlin, let's see, Jonah Jones, Ed Matthews. This is a bunch of Richard Sonsu Meyer just came out there. Richard Gromlich, awesome guy. William Miller straightened me out so much with regard to the pugilistic aspects of what I'm doing and how much it's different than the way things are conducted in China. And it can go, the list goes on and on. I want to make sure the individuals know that my practice of Tai Chi Chuan is from a Western perspective, which includes the study and practice of many different arts. Not that many, but enough. Southern Chinese internal pugilism, Northern Chinese internal pugilism, normally depicted as Shaolin or Wudang information. Western influences from the books of Boxiana, Fistiana, Pugilistica, The Science of Boxing by Daniel Mendoza, tons of The Science of Self-Defense coming out in the later 19th century. Tons of stuff by Richmond Edmond. And then the list goes on there too. Look at my next book coming out. It's supposed to be coming out in January. If I can ever finish the darn thing and get the drafts done, it'll be coming out very cheap so people can know the basics and the step process that I go by with regard to practicing my art, those who are interested. If not for learning what I do, it's just for comparing for what you do. Compare notes if you can't get a chance to meet me. That being said, all of that being said, I want to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from with the idea of mountain, lake, thunder, and wind. These are the elements that preclude earth, that proceed from the fundamental directions of cardinal directions of earth, heaven, earth, wind, and fire on the Bagua trigram. You might say, well, this guy's doing so much circular movement, it ain't even Tai Chi anymore. Well, that's not true. I mean, it may be, I don't know, who cares? For me, what I understand is definitely Nejiagong. I'm not going to even take that argument up to try and argue that the way I'm moving is Tai Chi or not. I will say this, though, that when you go from the square to the circle, as everyone talks about, the more circular you can get to maintain yourself in a sunken, centered, rhythmical, and symmetric or asymmetric way of thinking and movement, the better you are at receiving energy in a way that you are not touched like the wind. The way you can follow someone around to make sure that they try to overreach, okay, crash in, as one of the vices that Tai Chi talks about, then you can react with them and they can feel you as if they were struck by lightning and they hear the thunder. They feel it but don't don't see it, but they hear that they just got hit, and then they can't move, and that's an impressive martial quality to anyone that can master it. The idea of the mountain is just rooting, but it's rooting to a different level. It's rooting not just at the feet, but every part of the body. It seems like you're almost like a piece of granite when someone touches you, but at the same time, when they push just a little bit, you give, and that part of it is definitely comes from the peace that one has from training so intensely that they're able to give, and they can give at any direction. And the mountain and the lake go together so well because one, and be living here, I mean, talking about it's one thing, but when you're living and you're looking at it and you're feeling it, you're in the water, you're feeling the cavitations of deep open water, you're up in the mountain, you can't breathe that good, and you got to make all the things you do work, even in an environment that's inhospitable to your formal skill levels. When you do it like that, you find out real fast that the elements are not something you talk about. They're very powerful things that you have to immerse yourself in order to embody. And personification of the elements is shamanic. And shamanic training is the basic for the basics of form. That's where it comes from. We call in the mountain, we call in the lake, the strength of the mountain, the peace of the lake, okay, the tumultuous tenacity of the wind, and the incredible soundness of thunder. This being said, I want to make sure that everyone understands that no matter what I do or what I talk about, we all must always realize that the meditative aspects of what we do is the foundation of pugilistic alchemy. Pugilistic alchemy is my Western interpretation of internal alchemy, or Neji Gong, and the processes that come from it. We in the Tai Chi Connection, especially as Lester has helped me understand it, want to really express and emphasize the work of the Western internal adept. I am so dedicated through the magazine's upcoming publications to bringing out individuals that are so good at what they do, but no one knows about it. And we want to make sure that people do learn about these people. People like Sifu Clear, who are this fantastic Sifu Master Mohammed, whose training is just unbelievable. Not enough people know about it. Let's see, Tom Bissio, though people know about him, not enough know about it. Not enough people in the room know about it. Everybody knows about Master Johnson, but not enough people have his work. Paul Brennan, Edward Brickman, Sifu Brickman. These individuals translate all of the famous stuff that I've read that I couldn't get my hands on years ago. These guys have done it. They got their hands on it. They're translating it. They're putting it out there. Sifu Linden, who studies Wing Chun under in the Gary Lamb system, but is an internalist. He's gone to Middle East. He's gone to the Southeast Asia to learn even more about the internalization of what he learned, what he knows about the angles and fighting in the Wing Chun Kuen manner. And these are the things, and he's in his work in the weapons. These are the individuals. The master that's out there in Estonia, Master G out in Estonia, he's fantastic. We want to bring these people out and let you all learn about them. So in the radio station, please listen to the radio shows, and please listen to everything we put up. Get ready for the magazine coming out in January. Again, I thank you all for watching this video, and I thank you all for all the help that you give me to become a better martial artist, a better person, and a better member of the Tai Chi Connection. Have a great day.